Hit record. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first meeting, the first 2026 meeting of the DuPage ROSC, DuPage Recovery Oriented System of Care program. My name is Jared Burton. I am still your DuPage ROSC coordinator. I'm also a person with lived experience in recovery from substance use and mental health challenges. So I think it's always important to say that. We're going to talk a bit today, as we always do, about stigma reduction. And I feel as a coordinator, I should be out here every meeting saying that. And I'm sorry if I haven't so far. So happy to be able to say that to y'all. Those of you who are filing in early may have heard we may not get a chance for the people who are on Zoom to have you as invested on the in-person portion. And that is just because of the way we have set up here. If you would like to, though, again, just put that in the chat and Scott and I will make sure that we are keeping an eye on that. So we are back on tour. How many people here went to one of the previous year's tour stops somewhere out in DuPage? Okay, well, some of you. Okay. Well, if this is your first one, we're glad to have you here with us. What we've been doing over the course of the past, I would say like 6 or 7 months, is go out and host some of these meetings at our really, really important partner sites, but also just organizations out here in DuPage County who work in the substance use and mental health arena, and folks who maybe sometimes don't have the traditional seats at the table. We want to make sure that we're spotlighting organizations and people who are working on the same continuum that we are. And the health department is no slouch with that. They were one of our first hugely important partners on the harm reduction side of things. And ever since then, we've just grown and grown and grown in our partnership. And so we're really glad to have the time here with them at the health department. First icebreaker question. We are going to do an icebreaker. Now, it may have to be mostly for the people here in person, so I may rely on you, but we can also look at the chat, right? So this might sound like a boring one, guys. I'm sorry, but it is the new year, so we're doing New Year's resolutions, okay? Now, think about your New Year's resolution. I had mine set a couple months ago, and mine was actually to read more. I have a lot of time spent to myself, not with reading though. Sometimes when I want to relax, I'll like watch a show or YouTube. I need to get out of that. I need to get in the habit of like reading stuff again. Every day after work, I'm now committed to 15 minutes of reading a day. I know that sounds small, but we have to start somewhere. So that is my New Year's resolution for this year. So who here would like to kick off? Annette, do you want to start? Bring the mic around and then bring it back to me when you're finished.
So my New Year's resolution is focus more on my wellness, and since I'm, it sounds kind of selfish, but sometimes we also have to.
Why is that selfish?
Anyone else want to share?
Yeah, there we go.
In other words, I may not be motivated to go work out, but do I have the discipline to go work out?
Nice. Okay. You said that so much better than I said mine. I should have used the way you said it. I'm going to steal that, Kathy. Yes. Nice. Hey Tom, can you explain what Tai Chi is, maybe for beginners? Hell yeah! All right. Yes.
I grew up in Bridgeport.
Yeah.
And it was very large right by Bridgeport, and I would see them working out in the park. And it was fascinating. Like 20 years old, I was fascinated. So I'm taking class.
Nice. We'll keep the mic going around. What else we got?
I first stay up really late. And not think I'm still doing that. But just like going crazy, eating life, eating leftovers, eating stuff that is maybe not purchased, eating it in mind. So I'm thinking, yes, fruit, vegetables, and anything that I have myself made, and what's up for granted for snack.
Wow.
We'll see.
Now we're all going to report back in a couple months, right? On where you're at with these. Bruce, do you got one? Is there a mic? Yeah. How about our friend Bruce Seawick? Eat more fish? Okay. Nice. All right. Anybody else in person? And then we'll check the chat here in a second. How about Mark Matthews? Mark Matthews, what is your New Year's resolution this year? What's that?
It's a great question. I mean,
It is a great question.
We all look back in the face of the new year to have a resolution or make a change. So mine will be to make every day an opportunity to learn something new about myself.
Beautiful, beautiful. There is some in the chat. Our friendly neighborhood technical assistant, or sorry, technical advisor, Ben Rudolph, says, "Talk less, listen more." That's a really good one. Where else? And sorry to make this so large. I have very poor eyesight. I see New Year's resolution is to eat more good food, show up daily in some form of service for the behavioral health community. And then I think I saw some more. Try to do and learn something new each month. So I think there were some good ones in there. I like it. There's so many of us remaining curious. I think that's a really important thing, especially as we get older. Remain curious about the world around us, and especially this field because it changes on a dime. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. As I said, we are here at the beautiful DuPage Health Department. If you're not here with us in person, we're sorry because it's a gorgeous place. And if you've been here before, you know. And we're going to talk a little bit today by starting off. So this is the first. Oh, I heard somebody. Let's make sure everybody's muted if we can do that. So, is anybody here for their very first ROSC meeting ever? Like this is like numero uno. Anybody? So we're going to talk to you all in a minute. So I won't put you on the microphones again. I see a hand, Marissa, just so you know, we may not be able to hear overhead here. So you can put that in the chat. So I see one. Anybody else online? Oh, I see Kelsey. Kelsey, we won't be able to hear you, but I know that you're joining us next week. Kelsey is joining us from Impact, the Recovery Corps, which is awesome. We really look forward to having her here with us. But there's a few of us, right? So it's important to talk about what a ROSC is. So let's discuss briefly what a ROSC is, what a ROSC does, and what DuPage ROSC does. So the ROSC is a recovery-oriented system of care program. What does that mean? There's a lot of acronyms in this field. There's a lot of acronyms that use the same letters. We work at a place that had like three different grant programs with the same letters. That's wild. What is this one though? It's a person-centered network of both community-based services and supports, but also people with lived experience. So what is that? Somebody with lived experience either is in recovery themselves, or they're a friend or family member or a loved one of somebody who's in recovery, or somebody who is still currently using drugs. We also count some of those amongst our numbers. So trying to use those people with experience to kind of drive things. Most of the people who actually do the work inside the ROSC, at least the administrative side of things, are people in recovery. But most of the people who come to these meetings are in recovery as well, or have some kind of connection to recovery. DuPage ROSC collaborates and we build to empower communities of recovery, helping people of all ages to overcome life's challenges and achieve goals through personalized, that's important, personalized behavioral health and services. We've developed a sustainable ROSC council, which is you're here now, so thank you for being with us, composed of people with those lived experience and their allies in the community. Really, really important, and we're going to talk about this very, very shortly. One of the big things we do is reduce stigma. We have been very, very fortunate to have partners here at the health department. This will be year 3 of doing stigma reduction campaign with them, and very, very excited to talk about that in a few minutes. But really, there's a few different areas that we work in here in ROSC. I'm going to talk about some of them today, and we're glad to have you here with us. So let's talk about the agenda for today. We're right about here right now, meeting open. Or we're right about here, actually, because we're not able to introduce as many new members as we'd like to today. So let's just move on to some of the upcoming meetings and trainings. Now, last month was the holiday party, so we weren't able to do as much of some of these promotions, but let's go ahead and jump into that right now before we talk to some of our friends over at Health Department. First things first, has anyone here gone to the DuPage ROSC presentation series before? If you haven't, it's a chance for us here at the ROSC to kind of dig into a topic over the span of longer than just 10 or 15 minutes, which here, at the council meeting is really about as long as you get on some of these topics. So this is a chance to kind of take some more time, and next Wednesday at 10 a.m., we're back, y'all. Some of you have enjoyed our presentation series things on like vape shops or kind of those gray market substances of abuse. We're back, y'all. We're back with that. Number 2. This is called Over the Counter Under the Radar. If you have ever had kids, especially teens, who have tried to find out different ways to get high on stuff that's at your house, we're going to walk you through that. So Blake Warman, who's one of my absolute chem specialists, is going to be reporting on that. So those are only on Zoom. You're more than welcome to attend. Those are completely open. So let's go over to the next one. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. So last year, we started doing, in conjunction with our friend Bruce Seawick, who's right here. Actually, Bruce, can I chat with you for a second? I'm going to hand this mic over because Bruce is actually right here. So, Bruce, can you describe a little bit what's been going on with these series we've been doing with you in the Urban Apothecary and the Chicago Consciousness Cafe?
People over physical psychedelics for personal development and as a therapeutic tool. So the personnel that I walked into the Urban Apothecary, and you got to be a Cheryl Fire and brought you in the people doing is having one of my first emphases is having the psychedelic doctors present and have that in medical artifact. So one of the ones who dealt with was not microdosing.
Yes.
And then this Thursday, tomorrow, I actually my psychedelic academic mentor, Dr. John Roberts, yes, very unique ways of looking at how psychedelics can enhance and improve society. So what we're looking to do, kind of in advance of the whole psilocybin bill being passed in Illinois to educate people that these technically what we're talking about for the most part are not drugs that are used that have great healing potential, and to try to destigmatize things that have been used as medicine and self-exploration in indigenous cultures for centuries. So I appreciate you and Matt and Cheryl being part of it because I think this is going to help you find a path for psilocybin for medicinal use and recreational. So I think this is very helpful and I appreciate it. Sorry.
Can you update us if there's been any movement on that since the last time it's been in the news cycle?
I think unfortunately in Illinois it's stuck.
Yeah.
Right. Psychedelics. And there's the VA is doing a lot of research. And I recommend for anybody that has Netflix to watch the documentary New Waves in the War, which is the story of some Navy SEALs that went down to Mexico to the Ivy and they're beating that steel. So that that being said, we're still, last time I talked to Sean Ford, going to tomorrow they're going to call a case celebration at hospital and he still thinks that we're in a good space only because ironically the administration seems for psychedelic. So I present a lot in that in legislative hearings, writing against Mexico testimony. And one of the questions everybody asks is why would we get kind of federal reschedule? And the answer is citywide.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Thanks, Bruce. So yeah, come out to the Urban Apothecary, or you could join us on Zoom, and that'll be tomorrow night. Again, if you have not attended one of these, it is really, really eye-opening. And I think sometimes people see psychedelics and all they can think about is, hallucinating or, people who maybe are kind of like burnt out or from a hippie generation or something. These things go far beyond that. And I think for the majority of the type of psychedelics that we talk about here in this group, but also some synergy with the others is that, for things like treatment resistant depression, stuff like or options like this for people are super, super important. So really, really glad to be a part of that one. So join us if you can. So I was going to normally, I'd have my colleague Nini, who was so great at putting these together, report on these, but unfortunately her little one was ill, like most everybody right now. And so we gave her off today. So that just gives a chance for me to talk at you for a little bit longer. So a few things. I don't know if you've noticed about kind of the way what we've been posting about and other things, but we kind of seem to be in the donation business lately. I mean that in a good way, but we have been collecting all kinds of stuff. So let's talk about why we're collecting what. DuPage ROSC needs you. Are you seeing that? It's beautiful. So we've been collecting warm weather donations for about the past 2.5 months. Since we have started collecting the winter clothing, we've gone through about 26, 27 full garbage bags of winter clothing. That is an insane amount of stuff, and that is all down to the amazing people who've donated stuff to these things. So we still need more donations, both for the Serenity House harm reduction van that goes out a couple days a week, but also for things like the drop-in, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, but also some things on Sundays. We go out to the park across the street from Hesed House and hand out some food and clothing a couple times a month. So we're going to continue collecting new and gently used. Have to say that. Appreciate the gently used part. If it is socks, it has to be new. Thank you. But also travel size toiletries, toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, deodorant. What am I forgetting? There's usually wipes. Oh, that's another one. Handy wipes are like things where people can kind of use like wet wipes. So think about hygiene, like folks who maybe aren't able to shower or bathe as much while they're out there. Really, really important, like wet wipes and things like that. So if you have a donation you would like to drop off, you can drop them off at Serenity House Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., or you can reach out to me separately and we'll make a separate arrangement for that. So thank you again to everybody who has donated so far. I just said we're in the drive business. The next one is already coming up. The winter diaper drive. So this is actually for our friends over at the Glen Ellen Library. Well, that and the Teen Parent Connection. We did, do you remember, Danielle, we did Teen Parent Connection a couple of years ago? I was showing the photo of you recently with that. It was like one of the first ROSC photos. It was really, really cool. But we're collecting diapers, baby wipes. I'm sorry. I still have sick brain, so like every other word is coming out odd, so bear with me here. And baby supplies for donations at the Teen Parent Connection and the Glen Ellen Library's Community Closet. So diaper sizes, let's talk about that for a second. Now, I don't have kids, and I'm very, very green when it comes to things like diapers. So when I heard things like, well, there's certain sizes we need, I was like, aren't they just like one size fits all? Apparently, no. So we're looking for sizes 4, 5, and 6 are what is most needed. So if you've got those you would like to donate for either of those wonderful, wonderful organizations, again, you can reach out to us or you can just drop them off at Serenity House. We'll make sure they get where they need to get. Coming up, another thing that didn't exist, and so we are just going to create it, which is the Serenity House Re-Entry Fellowship Program. Again, I wish I had one of my other teammates here to kind of go over some of this because this is not my program. But when we were going into the jails over the past couple of years, what we were hearing from a lot of our men and women when we were in there was that, when they were getting out, they felt like they often were kind of getting thrown to the wolves a little bit. They had a little bit of solid ground for classes and stuff while they were inside. But once they got out, they feel like they didn't have that anymore. And for those of you who, have just tried to re-enter society with a substance use issue, that's difficult enough. Doing it while also having felonies on your record or having to re-enter from a situation like that, it can be doubly hard. So we are just trying to create an opportunity for people just to go chill for a little bit, even if it's just chilling for 2 hours with people who are also formerly incarcerated. So the first one will be coming up in March 12th. I know it's a couple of months away, but we need to go ahead and get the word out for that. This is going to be, did y'all know we had a Geneva office location? Some of you did? I didn't know until a couple years ago, but we do. So we're going to start hosting some things out there, and this is going to be one of those. So we're going to be doing it on Thursday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. And like we said, the first one will be on March 12th. And yeah, we're going to have all kinds of things there. So some of the stuff we provided are pop-up locations. So things like clothes, stuff like, services, access to services, resource brokering, all kinds of stuff we're going to have on site available to help you guys out for those of you who have been formerly incarcerated or trying to re-enter. So help us spread the word on that one because we could definitely use some support. Now, I feel like I've been talking for far too long, so I'm now going to invite Annette back so I can let her talk for a little bit. So, Annette, I'm going to stop rambling so I can take a breath. I'm going to let you talk. So, would you like to tell everybody about what's coming up on the Kane County side of things?
Next Thursday night, I go 3 to 4. Public Community College. We are going to be highlighting their CRSS program with David Morad. We are looking forward to joining them and hearing from the students and their program. And besides that, we will also be highlighting some initiatives that we are starting in King County, like Jared just mentioned. We do have a drop-in now every Tuesday afternoon from 12 to 2. It is more geared to like your support services. But again, we have a donation project and we are there to support individuals and family members who are using any kind of resources. I've had a few students call me and inquire, and we've had some people drop in and, just a general question. So we are also going to be starting the Justice Involved Reentry program, which will also be at the Geneva office. Besides that, we are still going out in our harm reduction van with AIC every Tuesday and every Wednesday and every Thursday. We are out in Aurora, Elgin, and Batavia. And we are still collecting donations, again, just like Jared had mentioned. So if anyone has any questions or anything they would like to donate, my information is up there on the flyer. You can contact me at any time and it will greatly.
Wow, great. Thanks for that. So I'm going to stop my share because that is me rambling for almost a half hour straight. That's a new record even for me. So I'm going to stop my share for a second and I'm going to get to the next portion of things. So Scott, I may need some assistance on this one just to kind of give some background on this one. Where should I start with the background of the BHC stigma reduction campaign? Sorry, Dana.
Hey, everybody, Scott Kaufman from the Health Department. So it is a reasonable question, given that we have started the work to have sober living homes highlighted and dispel myths. That project is probably about a year old, just in the BHC work group.
Yeah.
The co-occurring work group that we originally brought that up in, and
it's been a while since we've been bringing that up in the work group.
For a few months, we were looking at, we were reaching out to existing sober homes and finding out, what were some successes as you were getting established? What are some challenges that you initially faced or are currently facing? And we gathered that information, discovered, maybe not a huge surprise, that it is incredibly hard to establish a new sober home. There are not as many DuPage as there need to be. And then realized we didn't really have anywhere to go with that information. We still don't really have anywhere to go with that, but I would say that when we were debating kind of what we can do with that,
yeah,
we started talking about how hard it is, unfortunately, to establish them, how negatively they are looked upon by a good amount of the general public, but also by people that are maybe the exact demographic that needs to be using. There are people that have substance use disorders that build up in their minds that they're unsafe, unclean, that the people there are a danger to them. And they like the general public should know that that's not the truth, but if anyone should know, people that would most benefit from it should know. So we began this long project of kind of what would be helpful for those people to know. And yeah,
well, and I think also it was important to point out the different types of sober living too. That was the other thing where I think people thought it was a one size fits all proposition when it's not. And there's also, a couple of different types that we talked to, and we're going to show a preview here in just a second, so I'll stop rambling again. But I think that was every bit as important, right? Which was, hey, let's talk about the different kinds at the same time. So I'm gonna let Scott make his way back to the terminal, and we're gonna play a clip from some of the stigma reduction campaign we've been talking about. Drum roll.
So when women come in, I try to make it as comfortable for them as much as I can.
I stayed in sober living for over 2 years because of how much it did for me, not only in my recovery, but as a person.
I'm growing into something I never thought I could be. I'm becoming who I want to be.
So actually, I think that's one of the more impressive thing about a house like this is how many different types of people are under one roof, kind of pulling towards one goal, though.
So when I started considering opening a sober living home, I started doing some research, and I found there was a need to open a sober living home for women, especially because of vulnerability, the safety, and community of women on their journeys to help them recover. I believe because women are natural caretakers is that they're expected to be present for their families. So what I found interesting as well is that women would go through treatment, which is approximately a 28-day program, and they would go back home to be with their families. And the essential step between rehab and independent living is sober living, that is helping them transition from addiction to their life they want to live for the rest of life, for their recovery. So when women come in, I try to make it as comfortable for them as much as I can. Women here, cook together, bake together, go to meetings together. But for me, I think the full circle happened when one of our residents had made a successful transition and went to live on her own and is wanting to become an addiction counselor herself.
That's it? Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. So amazing, just in the short amount we got to see right there. We did get a question coming in, which was Bruce's, when can we share this? Well, uh, we're still working on some of the edits for some of them, correct? And then, yeah, we can talk more about that. Let's do it. Yeah, you can stand back there.
They are geniuses that put this together.
They are
talk about
geniuses.
the process of putting the videos, kind of what you did.
Yeah.
Yes, for her, it's a positive for you. But no, I mean, they do so much, and I just want them to present a little bit about the vision that they were looking for.
So first, I just really want to say thank you to this group for thinking about the health department being able to support you. This has been very educational and inspirational for our team, who has gone out and done a lot of the filming and editing, and we could not be more proud to help support you and actually everybody who is going through their journey for recovery. I also want to thank our on-camera persona. So Danielle was here with us. We had Cindy, Marianne, Jessica, Jared, Brianna. I hope I'm not missing anybody, but wow, your stories are so powerful. How you talk so eloquently and just it's so engaging. So really happy to be able to support you here. One of our goals, so we want to educate people on what it's like to participate in a sober living forum, to actually live there, to encourage people to think about what that next step is once rehabilitation is done. It's hard. I'm sure it's hard to, all of a sudden go back into the real world and, you need that extra support. So one goal is to educate. We want to raise awareness, but humanize the journey. That's what all of you were able to do. We have so much information, like so much footage. Tom, after he did his first recording, he called me and said, "Oh my God, this could be an HBO documentary. There's so much great footage here." So, Tom's been working on a long form video, and the other half of the team's been doing social media video. So what you saw is two examples of social media. One is a trailer because we felt like we needed to introduce the topic before we just came out with someone's story. So that's the trailer. We are still working through a few of the other individual videos. We can release the trailer probably next week. However, I want to make sure that everybody who's participating has in the actual video has a chance to review it first and give us an approval. So so I would say we could potentially release next week or even the week after, depending upon the approval process. But really excited about this project, and then I'll let Tom talk through anything else to say.
Well, I think there's much to say that Kim hasn't touched on. I do want to thank in particular a couple of people. I want to thank Scotty for putting this thing together. It really just a terrific concept. And of course, I've got a couple of new friends that I like to thank. Jared and Annette. I see Annette over there, and Danielle, of course. Those are some of our interviewers. Kim is right. After listening to these stories and these stories about recovery and moving forward, and then maybe taking a role in helping others recover, I said to Kim, I said that whoever would listen, I said I can do 2 hours on this subject and send it off to Cannes, send it off to Sundance. I'm not kidding. These stories inspired us, and it's somebody else's journey, but it needs to be said. Danielle said something to me that I thought was terrific, and I'm just going to repeat it. And she said that you talk about recovering out loud. And I just thought that was terrific. I mean, I heard so many sound bites that I am probably going to keep with me for a very long time. So I want to thank you for all that you do and for helping us to understand it a little bit better.
Well, thank you. Can I ask real quick, were either of you did you have any preconceived notions about sober living going in, and were any of those maybe changed by actually going out and doing some of the interviews and the edit and things like that?
When I was a young man, I have a family member who had to do sober living. And he made me do things that I didn't like. He wasn't being true to sobriety. And I remember pulling up to the house, and I just didn't like where I was. I was 17 at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't like where I was. I didn't like what I was doing. I didn't like what he was asking me to do. So I did have a bad feeling for most of my life. But then since I've been working at the health department, now I truly understand what's happening and that there are bad seeds everywhere. There are bad things that happen. So what I've seen from my new perspective, I adore. But yes, I mean, I had some of those moments.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I would just say, I didn't really have any preconceived notions because I've had the benefit of working at the health department for 26 years and alongside that and community initiatives for probably the last 15. So I think I had a good understanding. But it was stories. It's really about the stories of everybody's journey that touched me. So.
Well, thank you. And thank you for all the work you put in on this project. We are so excited. Yeah. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, coming soon.
Coming soon. Yeah.
The goal of that is to be able for our network to share with providers with
Yeah.
clients that next step in something so that they have an idea of what.
That's great. And one thing I noticed too, and we can bring the mic around, is that the folks who are involved with this year are all organizations that we've gotten to see grow along with us as we go. So like you saw Mariana from Evergreen. I remember when Mariana came to our meeting for the first time and was like, hey, I want to open a sober living house. How do I, so it was awesome to see her now where she's at. But also Oxford House, when we started the ROSC, Oxford House had just started putting stuff in DuPage, and that was even a fight to get those in. So to be able to show Brianna and Oxford House in that model is also a pretty cool thing. And then the Serenity House stuff too. So very, very, very excited for that. Yes, you had a question.
Or in looking at that perspective on the conditioning, environment, conditioning, so this is how, this is why you feel well in practice, when we're more to that, this is how it also helps us to move toward the initiative, the ability to move, very much. Then under the big outcome, sobriety, working with anything, daily life is that there's a whole issue that
we do have a lot of footage of the chairs and right on and so we do have a lot of footage of that from that perspective. We were talking the other day about maybe the second of stuff,
The B-sides or something. Like the B-sides, yeah. Excellent. So in the interest of time, I do want to make sure I get to Carly next. So we're happy to wait around afterwards to answer any questions as part of the filming process. But really the work that Tom and that team did with coming out to film all that was pretty amazing. Anytime they come out and shoot, I'm like, oh, this is cool for me because I get to see something that I don't normally get to see. So very, very cool. Always honored to be asked to be part of that. So thank you again for letting us do that. So in the interest of time, let's get to Carly Klubeck. Now, we're going to bring the microphone around so she does not have to come up here, but if she would like, she can. So Carly is the manager of substance use and justice programming, and she does a lot, and that encompasses a lot, but I'm going to let her talk more about that. So Carly, I'm going to turn it to you. As long as you see the blue light, you should be good.
Sorry, so hearing this is too loud. Here. So at the health department, I have the pleasure of, overseeing our outpatient substance use and also what we call our justice programming. And really our goal is to serve the safety net population, make sure that nobody falls through the cracks and that we can help support those who really do need a lot of intensive support and maybe don't have a lot of resources or don't have a lot of means to do so. So we do have a ton of mental health and substance use services. I made notes because I know that I'm on a little bit of abbreviated time. So we do are really on the outpatient side, at least our eligibility criteria for services are individuals who are DuPage County residents. So we because of our funding sources and all that, we can work to give back to those in DuPage County residents, uninsured, Medicaid, Medicare, really, commercial insurance, those are individuals that we would refer out. Give them with someone in their own network so that they can continue on to receive the services you need, and we have space for those who don't have a lot of other things to go. But we do mental health counseling, psychiatry, case management. We have a lot of intensive, so for individuals who have more severe mental health needs, we have housing, we have resource residential sites for that, we have social groups, really kind of everything that somebody might need. On the mental health side, for outpatient, we also on the substance use side, we do outpatient, intensive outpatient, early intervention. We have injectable prevention. Anybody mention our MATIR program.
They'll do it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Really wanting to be so it's like understand that somebody else for help is not able to call you back next week or give us a call, we'll get back to you. Really wanting to make sure that we can offer that quick time support. We have also a lot of justice programming, so we work with probation, we have services in jail. We kind of joke about this, but like every single point in which you might need support, we kind of pop up and say, well, guess what, now we can do. We have a group right now with veterans officers there. We're now with support. So we understand that people are staying, we all the same way. So the resources that they need to have the opportunity to sit down and talk with someone. So Diana this morning, she walked 2 people from there over to our CR support. So our CR Crisis Recovery Center, and you guys have probably heard about this too many times.
A few times.
How? But really, it is up and operating. It's really cool to be a part of it. It's designed to be a place for someone experiencing substance use or mental health crisis that doesn't involve going to CR. Yes, there may be times where we triage and determine if you need a higher level of care, but the majority of folks can support here, or we work to community life. So we have specifically rural management services, so 3.7, those who are kind of more in what levels of care. We've been open since mid-October, and we are, really cool things.
Yeah.
We have it a little different. People who walk in and need help with this, you get to where you need to go. So really supporting that. We have sober beds.
Oh yeah.
Somebody who's intoxicated, where we're not really sure what they need, but we do need a safe place for them to be able to sober and to, once they are needing a better mindset, kind of figure out at that point what they need, but not trying to assess with them. So they just need to kind of have a safe place to go to sleep and rest up and all that. So what am I missing you too? Over here.
I will say while you're thinking that Dr. Holzford has been fantastic. Like when we've been trying to get people like detox beds, if they're trying to come back into our system or what. But yeah, the kind of work they've been able to do back in, the referral stuff, like back and forth through that has been really, really helpful. We've been able to find, I think, beds for people who previously may not have had a detox bed because of that, the way it was structured, or the way that people had like maybe an inability to pay, or even like the pay was on like an insurance issue. So, I mean, it's pretty great that we've been able to provide that now for people where previously, we just didn't have the beds for that.
We assess triage, they want to, and then we need our team partners to be able to take it and run with the next level of it. We've had a lot of really great solutions.
Absolutely. You may ask something. Hey, now we may need to we'll get some mics going. Well, no, she wants to ask her a question. You can just project, yeah. Matilda's loud, she can project.
We don't have like resident assistance, is that you're saying? Yeah. Yeah, we don't have that. It's really focused on like, supporting those who are going through alcohol, opiates, some other kind of the ones that need the medical detox, but then we would look to link them to resident programs. Thank you.
All right. Any questions in the chat or here in person? Forgive me, y'all, if I have not been keeping an eye on the chat. Let's see. Go Bears. All right.
Yeah.
Go with it. All right. Well, thank you, Carly, for going over all those amazing things that happen here at the health department. We only got about 10 minutes left, so thank you to everybody who has talked about all the cool things that the health department's doing. We'd like to discuss what time we have left. So I'm going to call an audible. Now, what I had maybe planned on doing was going over some results from the community survey, but I think with like 10 minutes, I want to hold off on that till next month, if you don't mind. So that way I can kind of maybe like take some more time to go over it as opposed to just rushing some results out. So in that case, so what I normally do then is just kind of leave this open. So if anybody had any program they'd like to promote, any upcoming event, a meeting that needs support, this is here for folks to kind of put that out there. And that is also online. Just because I may not be able to hear you, I can't see it in the chat. So if you'd like to, you can come off of, I guess I was going to say come off of mute, but we won't be able to hear you here. So I'll have to then relay that to the folks here. So you can just give me like funny hand motions or something. Anyone else here want to promote anything? That's it. Danielle Heffernan, head of the CORS program at Serenity House.
Hey everybody, my name is Danielle Heffernan, and I just want to promote a refuge recovery meeting that we host at Endeavor Health Live-In Oaks. It is on Mondays at 3:30 p.m. The address is 1335 North Mill Street in Naperville. It's on the second floor, suite 260. And I can answer any questions if anybody has any.
Well, I was gonna say, I think sometimes, and this is something I'm guilty of, like I think we assume everybody always knows what something means. So why don't we say what refuge recovery is for people?
Yeah, refuge recovery is a more Buddhist approach to recovery. A lot of meditation and yeah, so you have like AA, which is like more of like spirituality, higher power, and you have smart recovery, which is more science-based. Well, this one's more of like a Buddhist approach.
Yeah. So if you're into meditation, if you're into mindfulness, we've actually had some people who've had really, really good success with both like refuge and Dharma, which somebody asked me the other day, what's the difference between the two? It's negligible. I think one split off from the other. But if you hear either of those, that is like that Eastern based practice that we're looking at. So pretty cool. Folks who have had not so much luck with like 12-step have done awesome with refuge recovery. So yeah, we do have some to promote. Our friend Sarah from Omni. She had the pleasure of interviewing the one and only Ben Rudolph. Oh my God. For the podcast, Tackling the Opioid Epidemic. Now, listen, this is awesome because I know Ben. Ben is great, and Ben is a good conversation. If anybody has not heard, Ben's backstory, I say this all the time. He was a jazz piano player at the Green Mill. If you know what that means, you know that he's really good. And so I like to embarrass him. He's turning red whenever I do that. But that's awesome, Sarah. Is that coming out soon or is it already out? Part one of the interview is there. I expect everybody by the next time we're here in February to have listened to that. We're gonna ask questions. Hang on a second. Okay. I'm just seeing like private messages now. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at monitoring the chat while also hosting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Going once, going twice on anything else to promote while we're here. Anybody? Anybody on Zoom? All right. Well, I will actually put a request out. If anybody would be interested in letting us come host this meeting at your organization, we are looking for a spot in February. We usually like to book a few months ahead of time, but we accrued that over the fall, and now we're like need to start booking again. So if you or your organization would like to host the ROSC, either the DuPage ROSC or the Kane County ROSC, you let us know and we will happily come. We'll bring donuts, coffee. Like we're really good guests. So we would love to come out and do that. I want to say again, special thanks to Scott Kaufman. By the way, if you did not attend the holiday party last month, Scott was the winner of the first annual DuPage ROSC Community Champion Award. Yes, that deserves another applause. And we were really, really honored to give that to him because he has been such a amazing partner over the past few years. And he's one of those types, like we said, he's a connective tissue, but he's also somebody that's gone out there and just starts doing the work. He and I have talked so many times about like, it's just we need to start doing things. And like that was a few years ago, and we feel like we've done a pretty good job since then. So he's been a huge, huge help with like the harm reduction stuff. In addition to everything else. But I'm sorry, like the cat brain I have, I'm seeing people saying we'll host it, and I'm like, oh, okay. So sorry about that in the middle. But yeah, congrats, Scott. Well deserved, they're saying in the chat. But yeah, we will be back next month. Stay tuned. I think I can give you the date though. Wednesday, February 11th at 3 p.m. And then a couple of reminders. The Kane County one is next Thursday at 3. And we shared that flyer as well. And that is going to be at where? Elgin Community College at the ECC CRSS program. So hopefully you can join us for that one. Be on the lookout for a couple different things. The recording of this meeting to hopefully be uploaded by the end of the week. And then anything else that we shared at the meeting, we'll follow up in an email blast out to everybody. Nini, I'm sorry I saw you after the fact that you were here. Apologies. I didn't mean to step all over your great work. Thank you for letting me ramble. Yes. That is a great question. So prior to Christmas, and you guys know this, I've been asking, I don't know how to do TikTok. Who knows how to do TikTok? Please, somebody come do TikTok. And now we have a TikTok. We got the young guy at the office to do them. So that's Ethan. And then also we do a little bit behind the scenes. So look out for DuPage Kane ROSC on TikTok. Subscribe, like, and subscribe. But anyways, it's fun too. Yeah. It's fun. This field is fun too. I think that's the other thing to remember. It isn't just like a glum, grim situation. We like to have fun too. Anyways, I have talked way too long. I'm losing my voice. That's what I saw originally. I was like, oh, I'm losing track of things. Usually between 15 and 20 people to accommodate, at least like the in-person portion. So anyways, all right. Thank you, everybody. This has been amazing. Glad we could be here with y'all. Stay tuned for all kinds of cool stuff coming in FY26. So I'll stay on here for a few more minutes if anybody has any questions or anything. And yeah, we'll see you at the next one.
Jared, Judy Lucas, can you hear me?
I can, Judy. How are you?
Okay, good. You know what? I'll contact you because I should be able to accommodate a meeting. 15, 20
Amazing.
people. Yeah, and then,
Okay.
you know, we can talk, maybe do like a little tour of the
Of
facility.
course. I would love that. Love,
Okay.
love, love that. Is that date
Excellent.
work, or do you want to pick a different one?
You know what? I'm gonna have to get back to you because I have to
I'll
check
shoot
to
you an
see.
email.
Yeah, I'll have to see what else is going on in the office.
I'll shoot
Okay.
you an email.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All
Okay.
right. Sounds
Take
good.
care. All right.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks.
Judy.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Jared.
Hey, Ben.
Just looking for clarification here. I wrote in the chat,
Yes.
is the Kane County Council meeting tomorrow?
No, no, no. I sorry, when I got all mixed turned around, I was trying to think of what we had tomorrow. That was what we have tomorrow is the thing that's in Kane, but it's not the Kane ROSC meetings. Thursday is that thing at Urban Apothecary
Okay.
in Geneva or Batavia.
So the Kane County ROSC meeting is then
Next week.
next Thursday?
Yep, next
That's
Thursday.
the 22nd.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it at
Okay.
that day.
So I have sorry to keep you here.
Don't worry about it.
I have what do you call it? A link that I had for Thursday at 4 tomorrow, but this link will work for the
So
20.
it's usually a recurring. Well, we could start it back up, so you can keep that one.
Okay.
That link,
Every
yeah.
third Thursday of the month is what I have for Kane County.
Yeah, that may have changed. I really don't know. That may be an internet question. But yeah, we're not doing it tomorrow. Definitely not.
Okay. All right. All right.
Next
I'll
Thursday.
contact Annette and just try to get
Yeah.
clarity.
'Cause I think it's
Exactly.
yeah, it's because this is
And
the
get
second
and get
one,
the
yeah.
right link in case I don't have the
Well,
right
this
link.
yeah, because this is the second Wednesday.
It is.
But yeah,
Okay. How weird.
I'll have her keep an eye out for you. Hey, you too.
All
Nice
right.
to see you.
Thanks. Appreciate
All
it,
right.
man.
Yeah, appreciate
Talk
you
to
too,
you.
man. Talk to you soon.